Hi, I'm Jennifer Lepore, Online Education Manager for Artist Network, and with me today is Mark Mehaffey. We've just completed 2 great video shoots for Artist Network TV. One of them was on watercolor painting on Yupo, both non-objective and realistic. The other one, or representational I should say, the other one was bold, dramatic florals using acrylic. So we're here with Mark today to just sort of talk a little bit about who he is and how he came into the art world. My first question I had was, when did you actually get started painting?
So the first time I picked up a paintbrush, I was 10 years old. I had a 4th grade teacher. I think I was somewhere between greatly and mildly disruptive in class. And I had a 4th grade teacher that stuck a paintbrush in my hand and a little praying set of watercolors, everybody's familiar with those, and set me at my seat, and I was completely enthralled immediately. And just painted my way through 4th grade and have been painting ever since. Sometimes artists get like a flash moment when they get started. And I had a good friend, his dad was an artist, and we happened to walk through his house. This was in 4th grade also, and his dad had these beautiful watercolor paintings all laid out with his sketchbooks open, and I was just stopped dead in my tracks. So between the little praying set of watercolors and that incident, I was an artist from then on. And I've never really stopped. I've painted almost every day since I was 10 years old.
Wow. So I hear that you have been a teacher for quite a while as well. As maybe that first teacher that handed you those paints sort of gave you that inspiration too.
Probably not her. One of the reasons I went into teaching is because I honestly had a couple of not so very good teachers when I was in middle school. I always thought that teaching was so important that you should have an inspiring teacher, especially art teacher. And so it sort of stuck in the back of my mind. And I kind of wanted to be an architect when I first started. Oh, wow. But then I found out that I'm not very good at math and that you have to actually compute to be an architect. And so that kind of went by the wayside. And sort of the art teacher came to the fore. So I spent a full career teaching public school art. Excellent. It was a rewarding career.
Oh yeah, I bet. Well, I noticed too, in sitting with you through these demonstrations, that you have a variety of styles in which you paint, different mediums and completely different styles. How did that sort of come about?
Yeah, I think initially mild ADD, and because I have many interests outside of painting even, and so I do have a tendency to sort of jump around to those things which interest me. And because I taught both middle school and high school art for so many years, as a high school art teacher especially, we have to be able to teach jewelry making, lost wax casting. We have to be able to throw pots on the wheel and hand build in ceramics. We have to be able to paint in every single media, and at least with some facility. And I think because of having to teach each of those separate media, then I feel kind of like that legitimizes my being able to jump around just a little bit, both in terms of how I paint and what I paint. Mm-hmm. So occasionally I will take some criticism from those folks that feel like you should find your painting voice and stick with it for the rest of your career. And while that does work for some people, it's not going to work for me. I have too many interests. I love painting in mixed water media, both opaque media and transparent media on paper. I love transparent watercolor. That's where I first started, and I love the opacity and the glowing juiciness of acrylics on both canvas and board. And I just continue to paint wherever my interests lie. I feel that a good painting is a good painting, and it's not the result of any specific media.
Great.
So, yeah.
Well, with that too, just one final question. Do you see yourself going in any one particular direction moving forward, or?
Yeah, I think good art honestly is the result of hard work. Lots of hard work, miles and miles with a paintbrush. It has very little to do with talent. It's more to do with showing up every day in the studio, putting in the time, being motivated to do well. And so like right now, I'm really enthralled with painting in a non-objective, using the elements and the principles of design to act as the subject, so to speak. And I do those designs on the fly, which keeps me really engaged. But I also appreciate the controlled fashion that I do with transparent watercolor and representational images, where I plan the shapes, assign value to those shapes, have a definite focal area, do a small compositional drawing that I follow, and then execute the painting based on that. So I go back and forth between intuitive painting and well-planned out painting, and I can even do one on one drafting table and one on the other and go back and forth between the two, and then even have something different behind me on the tables, all at the same time. Well, not at the same time, but you know, jumping around. So I see the rest of my life spent doing exactly that, interspaced with the other activities that I like to do.
Well, that sounds great. It sure matches your energetic personality, too.
It's fun. It's fun. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been just such a great chance for us to have you here with us.
Yeah, you're welcome so much. Thanks.
All right.
Thank you.